Hello viewers, I am your host Mariam Kamara and you are watching Jungle Online TV. Today in the studios I have a very beautiful queen and she's going to represent Gambia at the Miss Essence International. I wouldn't do anything but give her a chance to say hi to you guys, then we get on with the conversation proper. Hello beauty.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm doing good.
You good? Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like you to tell the viewers who you are, then we get on with the conversation.
Hello viewers, I am Mati Job, the current appointed beauty queen, Miss African Essence Gambia, supposed to represent Gambia at the Miss African Essence International happening this month, 19th, at Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
Okay, great. Would you like to enlighten me more about Miss African Essence International? Because people like me don't know much about it.
So there are many beauty pageants in the world, but when we talk about Miss African Essence, its main focus is on Africa, promoting African culture and bringing together queens from different African countries to promote diversity.
Okay. You've mentioned Ethiopia, and we know that that land is a land of beauty. There are a lot of women over there who has great hair, great beauty. So how do you feel about that? Going to a place where there are a lot of beautiful women, and you're going to compete there for a beauty pageant?
I think beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and I'm not only competing with Ethiopian queens, but other queens from other African countries as well. And when we talk about beauty pageants, it's not all about beauty. It comes with social impact and what you truly stand for.
So how does you representing the Gambia make you feel? Like, how do you carry yourself on stage?
I believe I was selected for a reason, and it's because I hold the qualities that the organization is looking for. Me representing Gambia means I will go out there and put Gambia on that map, represent true Gambian culture and share our heritage with the world.
But you know that you're supposed to meet people who are already exposed to that kind of competition. So how do you think you would tackle that situation?
I think I would do great because this is not my first time doing pageants. I have been competing national pageants. I currently hold title for Miss Culture Gambia.
But you've never gone to international pageants?
International, no. This is going to be the first time.
And you are this confident? Where did you get your courage from?
Well, if you're competing, I'm a beauty queen, confidence should be number one. Because you're standing in front of people to advocate, to share your views on certain things. So if you're not confident, that should not be your way.
Okay. Well, you know that you're supposed to be that much Gambian, like you have to be, that Gambianism has to show in you. So, which part of the Gambian culture are you most excited about showing to the international?
First off, they asked us to bring gifts that represent the Gambia. And the first thing that came into mind was to take a miniature version of the kora. Because when you talk about Gambia, you talk about the kora, especially when you want to talk about Gambian music. And another way where I will showcase Gambian culture is through my national costume, which is going to purely represent Gambia, supposed to celebrate women in agriculture and Gambian market women.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome. But then apart from the kora and then speaking of the outfit you're supposed to wear, what else do we expect from you?
My advocacy, the cause that I fight for. Of course, I have already launched my project, which I started here in the Gambia, helping mental health patients in the Gambia and helping communities that the government is not able to reach.
So how does our culture like represent your values and purpose, like our Gambian culture? How does it do that?
Yeah. So wherever you go in the world, there are certain values that every community has. It goes to the way that you carry yourself, how you dress, how you talk, and how you represent where you're from. And I think I am purely Gambian.
So what inspired this journey?
I started pageantry about a year and 6 months ago. I first went for the Face of MDI. I just went for the experience. I did not even know what I was going
You were a
into.
newbie?
Yes.
Okay.
From there, I did not win, but I got a second runner-up, and I fell in love with pageantry. Then from there I went into Miss Culture Gambia, which I won. And from there I kind of find something that I wanted to do, which is fighting for a cause. So if you're talking about pageantry, it's all about advocating, fighting for something and being impactful. I did not want to just wear a crown and then let it stop there. It's not all about the glitz and glamour. It's your legacy, what you leave behind and what you are remembered for. This is what inspired my journey.
Okay. Speaking of what inspired your journey, you've mentioned sequences you've been through. But can you mention a defining moment which shaped you into what you are today?
So when I competed for the Face of MBA, like I said, I did not know anything about pageantry. I was representing my department, and then at some point I said, no, I cannot do this because I don't know anything about pageantry. And then my head of department was like, the department needs you and it's not an option, you have to. I was like, okay, let me just go in there and see what I can do. But that night when I performed, even though I did not win, the crowd fell in love with me. When I came down, everyone was like, I loved what you did. I was not here to support you, but I loved what you did. And I had other people approach me like, if you ever want to go for pageantry, you have my full support. I will sponsor you. I will give you all of my support. So me knowing that I did not win, but I won the heart of the people was truly something.
Yeah, that's amazing. But anyway, what were your constraints? Because in every journey there are supposed to be hurdles. So what are some of these hurdles you faced?
The hurdles were mostly not knowing exactly what to do. Since I had no experience, I was just going with the flow. At some point also lack of support from the very department that I was representing.
Wow.
That was also a setback for me.
So how did you manage to tackle some of them? Are you getting support from the people around you, or apart from not getting support with the people you were representing? Well, you have a family, isn't it? So I expect if they don't chip in or they don't help you out or they don't support, somebody else is supposed to do so. Are you getting that?
Yes. So most of the support was coming from my best friend.
Your best friend?
Yasin, yes.
I guess she's watching, so you can say hi to her.
Hi, Yasin. So since we were also studying the same course and in the same class, she was mostly my support system. And the current HOD that was there at my time, he was also supporting fully. Whatever we need, when I go to his office, we need this, he just helped. And also support from other friends and family.
Okay. So I think we would rather move to the advocacy aspect, isn't it? So I would want to know, like, what cause are you most interested in the Gambia, and why does it matter to you?
I advocate for mental health, and it matters to me because I think if you're advocating for something, it should be something that you really relate to. And mental health is something that is very overlooked in our country. Sometimes you have like depression and anxiety and people just tell you, oh, you're being dramatic, or you just need food, you just need money, you'll be okay, when these things are deeply affecting you. Experiencing first-hand depression and people not understanding what exactly I was going through and me not able to talk to people about it, and I understood how it felt. So I was like, this is something that I want to do, because if you're advocating, like I said, you need to be able to relate to these things. And mental health patients in the country are not also getting the maximum support and awareness from the general public. I think sometimes they feel that they are alone and that the world doesn't care about their journey. So it's mostly for me showing them that we care, we are here for them, and it's okay for them to try again and come back to society making better choices.
Okay. So if Crown, how would you use your platform to create awareness when it comes to the situation you were talking about, which is the mental health issue?
So already I have launched my project. I named it the Project Heal. It focuses on 3 things: helping mental health patients who are affected by drug overuse, helping girls who are going through menstrual shame, and also helping younger girls who are forced into early marriage. So if can, I will extend this project. Since I will be getting more support, I will extend the project that I'm already working on.
Speaking of the projects you're working on, how do you fund them?
Mostly, I get funds from family, friends, and then receive donations online.
Oh, great, but I've never come across that. Is it that you're not doing that media work you're supposed to do? You're not reaching out that much?
Of course, I
You are
am doing the media work. I post on my Instagram and TikTok and also WhatsApp.
So, what are your handles? Would you mind telling us the name so that those watching could follow you and then see the work you're doing?
On Instagram, it's TT. On TikTok, it's also TT. Same name. TEETEE.
Okay. So, how do you think young people can contribute towards the development of our country?
So most of the time we just tend to sit and talk about the opportunities that the government is giving us. But we also tend to forget that the government cannot provide for everybody. So while being young and active, we can create these opportunities ourselves and also help communities that the government is not able to reach. This is how you create impact in your country.
Okay. So anyway, you've mentioned how long you've been in the pageantry, and then it's a long time, but it's not also.
It's not.
Yeah. So how did it contribute towards your development, and then what do you think it can bring to our country?
For my personal development, I think pageantry has shaped me a lot. It may not make sense to other people, but pageantry has got me way calmer. I was not always this calm, but through pageantry I was able to, resurface and find myself. And I think the concept of pageantry is also very misunderstood in the country. And when you talk about beauty pageants, people think it's all about wearing outfits and walking. And looking beautiful. But what goes on behind the crown and all of that, this is your cause and what you're passionate about. And if you're really passionate about these things, I think it will keep you fighting. And yeah.
So contesting in such big pageantry, and it's not easy, to face some of the contestants and then handling some of the situations. It needs a lot of mental preparation, isn't it? So how are you preparing towards that?
Mentally, I think I'm very good there. But also, if you want to help yourself, you should go into pageant to have fun, to explore. If you are too competitive in your head, it might affect you, especially if you're looking at other contestants and what they're doing and try to compete with them. It might affect you at some point. So go into every pageant prepared, but just go to have fun for the experience and whatever you get.
Great. So what do you think sets you back? Like, what's the difference between you and other contestants?
I think I've been putting myself out there, and what I can also offer to the brand is what they need, which is publicity, and I'm going to sell the brand. This is something I have done for Miss Culture Gambia as well. And also, I'm not just competing, I am actually having my social impact running. I'm not just telling people that this is what I am advocating for. I am actually going in the fields and doing it and putting it out there, showing the world that I meant what I said.
Do you believe that you can win the pageantry? And if you do, how far do you think you'll be able to go with it?
I believe I can win, because no one goes to competition thinking, I'm not going to. Yes.
No, but some people do. They think they cannot do it. Yeah.
Yes, but to me, if you have that mindset, then just don't. Because at the end of the day, you're going to waste the time and resources of your sponsors and yourself. You should go into every competition prepared, very well prepared. And yes, I think I can win it. And if I do, I would continue to build the bridge between the African countries and promoting the diversities of each of these countries.
Okay, so what legacy do we expect you to leave as a representative of the Gambia in the pageantry?
Like I said, the impact that I leave behind.
Yes.
I want to give away the crown and be remembered for the work that she did for her country, not just for the crown that she wore.
Mm. Anyway, you've mentioned about wearing nice clothes and then walking on stage and stuff. But then beauty is also important when it comes to pageantry. And it's not the kind of beauty we believe in this era, isn't it? So on your own words, like how do you define beauty, like the beauty of the African woman and the essence of that beauty?
I would define beauty as courage. I would define beauty as empathy. If you're beautiful and you don't have any empathy, then I think it builds a gap. It kind of shields that beauty, that inner beauty in you. Beauty is not also just physical, it's inside. How you treat people, how you interact with people, and how much respect you give people.
Okay. That's amazing. And it sounds good. Anyway, who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration is the current Miss Universe Cote d'Ivoire, Olivia Yashte. She represented Cote d'Ivoire at the Miss Universe in 2025. She went on that stage and fought for the entire Africa. She was a very strong contender. Even though the entire world believes she was supposed to win, the crown was given to someone else. But from there, we got to see how resilient she was. She did not let that hold her back, and she kept doing what she was already doing for her community.
Do you believe you can comfort yourself that much, like she did, if you were in the same situation?
Yes, I believe so. We also understand that competitions are not all about winning, or sometimes the organization might be looking for something else. Since each organization has a certain thing that they are looking for to represent their brand, sometimes you just might not be what they're looking for, and we should be okay with that.
What's your favorite Gambian dish?
Energy.
Really?
Yes.
So would you suggest that to the judges if you were asked about Gambian dishes?
Yes.
You would suggest spinach.
I will suggest
Boy, do you know that jollof rice, it has a lot of issues because, okay, Nigeria would say we have the best jollof, Senegal would say the same thing, Ghana would, and then you are here in the Gambia suggesting that to others in the international world. Do you believe we have the best one?
Of course, we have won the
Are you
national
sure?
jollof rice competition twice. 2 years in a row.
But they are saying it belongs to Senegal, and then Nigeria also is claiming it.
But when we say jollof rice, it comes from the Jollof Empire, which is part of the Gambia and Senegal. Yeah.
Yes.
So it
And jollof means jollof, but they're still claiming it. Still calling it jollof, which belongs to the Gambia and Senegal.
I think they just need to do their research and understand where the name jollof came from. If they understand the name jollof is from the Jollof Empire, which is currently Gambia and Senegal.
Yeah.
They would understand the
They
origin.
would understand. So you guys have to study a lot in order to understand what you're actually saying, because jollof is the name of an empire which is Gambia and Senegal. Yes. So so if you are asked to describe the Gambia in 3 words, how would you do it?
Peaceful, joyful, and the third word, what would it be? I don't know, you tell me. But those 2 words, the Gambia is a very peaceful place. It is also a joyful place. You would not know until you travel outside and you remember, wow, the joy that I feel being in the Gambia is just something I cannot compare to any place.
Really? That's amazing. Peaceful Gambia. So let's talk about your parents. Like, are they supporting? How do they see the journey? Are they okay with it? Like when you first venture into pageantry, they didn't complain, they didn't say anything? because they expect you to go to school to learn, not to take part in some of this stuff.
Yeah, so I live with my mom, and when I was first going into pageantry, I explained it to her that this is a school extracurricular activity, and I was choosing to represent my department. She did not have a problem with it. She supported throughout. She was there at the day of the event. She came to watch. And from there, when I was competing for Miss Culture Gambia too, I had her whole support. She was there throughout. Although she could not come and watch, but she was watching it live and keeping up, giving me calls, how is it going, and all of that. And now that I'm preparing for the Miss African Essence, she is very involved, getting me fabrics, how would this look on you, and just following up with my journey. She's very okay with it.
That's amazing. Speaking of that, would you mind telling the Gambians when is the pageantry itself and some of the support you will need from them?
Yes, I would be departing from the Gambia on the 19th of this month. It's like a few more days to go, just a week and some days. And we have a lot of activities that would be going on. We will be spending 2 weeks there. Within that 2 weeks, we will be competing in various activities like swimwear, like advocacy, talent, and closed-door interviews, and eventually the final, where we will have we will also have a prelim, the preliminary, and before the final. The preliminary usually comes days before the final. The final would be on the 2nd of May, and I would have to come back home on the 3rd of May.
So, is there any possibility of one watching you as you contest?
Yes, the Miss African Essence have their social media pages. They have their Instagram and TikTok, and they also have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So anybody can go to the YouTube channel and watch it live. They would also share the links on their social media pages.
And I believe you would share it.
I also will share the link on my social media pages.
Okay, we have finally come to the end of the program, so I'll give you a chance to say bye to the viewers. Then I think when you come back from the competition, you'd have to come back here again and tell us how the journey went.
No problem. I would love that. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And thank you viewers for watching. I hope you guys will follow up with my journey, because I am not only going there for myself, I am going there to represent the entire country. I hope you will keep up, watch, and also follow my social media pages for updates.
Alright Gambia, that's your beauty pageant representative, and I believe you would support her like she's asking for. Thanks for watching. In case if you haven't been here before, I am your host, Mariam Kamara, and you're watching Jungle Online TV. Please do not forget to subscribe and like our programs as well. Bye-bye till some other time when I come your way with some other interesting program like this one. Ciao!